Okay.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 5 of the Natural Selection podcast. It's just yourself, well, myself and Patrick today,
Hello.
our illustrious leaders, having a little bit of R&R, and has entrusted us with his baby, with his podcast. We're being left to our own devices here, mate. We can't let him
It's gonna be
down.
a menace, man. We're gonna be a mess for
Yeah,
him.
he's going to come back and we've been cancelled. Like, it's just going to be cancelled. Blacklisted. Do not let these guys on camera talk shit anymore.
How you been? All right?
Yeah, I've been good. So it was Easter weekend last
Yeah.
weekend. So did a little bit of I do a little bit of PT on a Saturday morning. Then came home, spent some time with Willow, and then Natalie was on a late on the Sunday. So I took Willow over to see my family in Doncaster. So it was
Okay.
about 45, 50 minute drive from where we are. Got to see all the cousins, and so like with my family, um, my oldest cousin is 2 years younger than me. Sorry, 2 years older than me, and my youngest cousin is 3 years younger. So there's six cousins, all within the space of like 5 years. Which then went with my family, there was kids, and then there suddenly was no kids. And
Right.
in that transition period where we'd all become teenagers slash young adults and no one had
Yeah.
kids, like they weren't used to having like little kids running around. And obviously we've now got Willow, who's 7, and then my cousin's got two daughters as well, who are 5 and 3. So like my gran, so Willow's great gran, is not used to little children. Like,
Okay.
they're so noisy. Children weren't always this noisy, were they? I was like, fairly sure we probably were, Grandma. It's just been 30 years since
Yeah,
we've been
since
that
that.
age, so
Yeah.
you've probably forgotten. Like, so yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. She got all hyped up on chocolate and excitement, and then
Oh
sent
no.
home, which is
Yeah.
what aunties and uncles are for, really, isn't it? Just fill the kids full
Yeah.
of sugar
True.
and then send
True.
them off and not have to deal with the consequences.
Expensive.
And then I was back at work today.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but yeah, big push sesh. Um, that niggle I had in my elbow is finally, touch wood, starting to feel better. Like before, I couldn't even hold a 1 kilo dumbbell like that without it feeling like I was getting stabbed in my elbow. Whereas today, it was the first time I did that, and it's not. It's still there if I train, like I know about it, but it's not painful anymore. So I
Was
can
it
kind
right on
of
the?
work
Was
around
it
it.
right on like the elbow
So
joint?
it's like here.
Oh, okay.
So I
Gotcha.
think is it golfer's
No
elbow
push
they
elbows.
call
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
like the outside. I've had that since like the first week of January, and it's only just
Just going away.
like
Fucking.
getting better. But I've still been able to press. But it's like
Hmm.
certain movements. So like a shoulder press, no, but I can flat press absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I can do tricep push downs if my arms come in across my body.
Yeah.
But if I supinate, no, just no.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, so there's like only certain movements that were like triggering it off. But yeah, touch wood, that's starting to kind of like feel better now. So hopefully start to be able to push the numbers up again soon.
Yeah.
How
Nice,
about
man.
yourself? You been at
Yeah.
work
I
today
think.
or been off?
No, I've finally had a day off, mate. I've had like a crazy week of work. So 4 days back to back. Couple of 12-hour shifts and a couple of 16.5 hour shifts. So it's been manic.
Oh wow.
And I'm trying to get clients in between that as well. Like the other day I got home like at 10, no, I had like 12-hour shifts. I got my like 9:30 and I had a client at my house till like about 11:30 just doing posing. He's got his
Okay.
pro qualifier coming up this weekend. So we just wanted to make sure we catch up before he goes into his peak
Yeah.
week. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, just come around, we get done. And then that went quite well. So he's feeling a lot better going to the pro show now. And then yeah, just work really. And today finally have the day off. Got up, but I had like a couple of clients in the morning, online clients in the morning. Then the plan was to go gym and train, and then I realized that I've got my blood test tomorrow, so I can't train because you're not allowed to train like
Right.
2 days. Right, so I was like, ah, great. So I spoke to my coach, like, oh, should I still go and train? I was like, no, no, just no training today. Have another rest day. If you can
Yeah.
get the test done tomorrow, then don't train today.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah, I
can
didn't.
mess up your kidney markers if you
Yes,
train
yeah, apparently.
to. So it'll raise your creatine kinase.
Right.
Which again, if you go to a normal doctor and get your bloods done, if you lift weights, your creatine kinase will come back high.
Yeah,
Now, if
I had
somebody
that.
doesn't lift weights, that's a sign of like kidney failure. The amount of
Yeah.
times people have been like, "Oh, I got my bloods done," and my doctor's worried about my kidneys. I was like, "Right, do you lift weights? Yeah. Do you take creatine? Yeah. Have you ever had any problems with your kidneys in the past? No. I probably wouldn't worry about it. Just because, and again, if the levels aren't, again, this is not medical advice. I don't want to get sued, but it's one of those things I would always get a second opinion from someone who understands blood work, pharmacology from a bodybuilding slash weightlifting background. Because yeah, as I said, our like normal for that is going to be higher than the average person because we turn over a lot more protein. Like I don't know about
Yeah,
you, but I eat about 200 grams of protein a day. I'm weight training 5 days a week. Of course, there's going to be more
yeah,
creatinine
bro.
in my bloodstream
Literally
because we're turning over that protein all the
all the
time.
time.
So
I went for like, and I just through my GP because I think this is like back end of 2024 when I got back from Australia, and I remember I had like some inflammation around my shins, and I thought it was from the flight, but one side of my leg
mm,
went down, the other side wasn't going down. So I was like, oh, let me just go and get this checked out just in case, because my mum is diabetic, so I was like, I just want to make sure everything's okay. Um,
yeah,
and I went there and they were like, okay, we're gonna have to do some tests. So we're gonna do a kidney test. We're gonna do all of this test. And I was like, oh, great. I said, don't panic. I'm just a bodybuilder. It's like, it's fine. Just treat me as normal. And I went in for the test, and literally as I came up, they started panicking because their creatine level was high. And I'm like, and I was
yeah,
like, yes, I just told you guys I do bodybuilding. I literally eat like my diet right now. Well, back then was about 240 grams of protein a day. Like, so I
yeah,
was like, it's nothing news. Don't panic. And then until they passed me on to, so they kept on moving from department to department because they couldn't figure out what's going on. Because obviously all signs were showing that I'm healthy. Like I don't smoke, I don't drink,
yeah,
I just go gym. So I didn't understand why it was really that high. Passed me on to like the fourth doctor, and then that was the fourth doctor was like, "Do you go gym?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, that's why they're panicking. Like it's just because you train. You go gym, you have a high protein diet, so relax." Yeah, and they literally, I've got to go back on Thursday, no, actually on Wednesday now, um, because it's just go back to the GP again, and they're starting panicking again. So I'm like trying to explain to them it's nothing serious. It was just a fucking swelling
yeah,
ankle, and I just want you to just treat it for me, please. Like do
yeah.
something about the swelling because it keeps on coming up and going. So don't panic about it. But yeah, um, yes, my week's been good. I had the same thing as like I said, and injuries are getting better. I can actually train legs now without my knee feeling like swelling up the next day, which is very, very nice. Only thing I have not been able to train fully is like pressing movement just because of my shoulder. But again, that's getting better. And this week we kind of like I got my last session tomorrow. Oh, I hope it's my last session tomorrow. Anyway, I got my last physio session tomorrow, so we'll be able to judge and see where we are with that. So I can start pressing again because I feel like it's
Sounds
by
good,
the time I
bro.
get back, I'm gonna be struggling to even do 60 kg, bro. It's not gonna be fun.
I always
But yeah.
remember. I can't remember if it was this last prep or the prep before. I got my bloods done about 6 weeks post show,
Hmm.
and my test was back to normal, but it was showing my what's it, prolactane. My prolactane was high, and essentially you could tell the person on the other end thought I was assisted
Yeah.
and I was like, my
Are you? Is this your
because in
take
the
not a
yeah
declaration?
in the feedback it was like, yeah, this is a common side if people are like using assistance and blah blah blah, and I was like, I would want my test to be much higher than that. It was at like 9, like I think 7 is like 7 or below is when it's clinically low. I was 6 weeks post show, so I was like, you know what, I'm back at 9. I'm happy with that 6 week post show.
Yeah.
But obviously, because you've gone from it being in the toilet during prep to suddenly it being back to like 7 to 9, your prolactin goes up because your
Right.
testosterone's come up. So it breaks down like into that. So that's why it was showing a spike because I've gone from really low it kind of come up to what's normal, but that then meant that that other hormone had kind of come up with it. But yeah, it just made me laugh. I was like, if I was on gear, I would want my test to be at more than 9.
More
Like,
than
I'm not being funny.
we
Like,
mentioned that, but
yeah,
that was
that's
like
that's
that
that's
point.
like
Let's not get too
weak
quick.
TRT. Yeah. I think if you're
This
taking
is
TRT, you want to do on the high end of normal, which I think is
yeah,
closer to like
exactly.
14. So I was like, to be rubbish gear. Like,
I was fucking jokes, you know. Well, yeah. So that's it's not been too bad. Like the last week's been a decent few weeks. Like I said, busy. So it's nice to have like a day off. Well, it felt like a day off, but it wasn't actually a day off. I've just been caught up. I literally had like a client in here just before we started this.
yeah.
Maybe it's routine to him. Um, so yeah.
So is this to do with the Posing Society
Yes.
that
Yeah.
you're
Yeah. Yeah.
launching?
Yeah. So an update of that for people that want to know, anyone that's planning to compete this year. Uh, so we like I said, originally it was me just running by myself for last year or so, but it gets to a point where it's like it's a lot of work now. So while traveling and competing last year, I kind of was keeping an eye out on like people that who's the same aura, have the same energy and like vibe when it comes to posing, and we've now come together, we've collaborated and like having a few other coaches under my wing from Canada, New Zealand and Australia, and obviously the
Oh,
UK.
amazing.
And yeah, so we just kind of like basically we got one we got one in Philippines as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we basically launching this week, introducing all the coaches that are involved, and yeah, take the stress off me and like kind of like everyone, we all get to share what we love doing with the rest of rest of the bodybuilding world with it. So yeah,
Have you got
that's
like a
what.
separate Instagram for that, or is it
Yes, so the actual Instagram account for it is called the Posing Society, and then
just
obviously
found it?
yes, and then you can also
Yeah.
reach out to like to myself in my DMs, and obviously I'll respond to it, or any of the coaches directly into the DMs, and they'll respond to it as well. But like our main page is there, and that's where we're going to be posting basically most of our client updates and kind of like posing tips that we want to be giving. We'll be going to be talking about. I think that the plan down the line is to eventually kind of have like sort of like a podcast discussing posing and how the basically educating people from about posing from where it started to where it's going, the kind of like different styles in
Yeah.
each area. Obviously, every year kind of like have there's a different vibe to it, or like
Mm.
just kind of we're trying to make it into the way that it's more respected and people, there's a lot more effort put into it because we're seeing too many people on stage that are treating it like a last minute result thing, and they go on stage and it's like affecting their placement, which is not really what you want to be dying for like 20 plus weeks to just go on stage and just lose because you can't post properly. So yeah, we're just trying to keep it branded
100%.
from it happens way too often, way too often.
Yeah. A big thing. So I've got a couple of guys that have been like talking to me about competing and stuff, and it's
Hmm.
like I've said to them, start learning your posing now. You've not even set
Yeah.
in a date whether you're going to compete this year. I would say to them, do not compete this year. If you're just thinking about it now, you've left it too late.
Yeah.
Like the earliest you're probably going to want to compete is 2027, but you should be getting your head around your posing now. Like I know for me, I think I only really started properly taking my posing seriously, not this last prep, the prep before, and was
Hmm.
doing the practicing and the drilling, and it makes such a big difference. Like, just take for example, when we were at Worlds, like we were being drilled for 20, 25 minutes, like
Yeah.
round after round after round. Like your average regional slash national show is probably not going to be like that.
Hmm.
However, I was watching back the video the other day, and you can see some people on that stage, they start to fade 5, 10 minutes in, and they just get moved out because they're
Yeah.
not keeping up. And then the top five, literally, they hit their pose and they hold it, and they're in it for 30, 40 seconds. Like, what you've got to remember is sometimes your show could turn up to a show, and there's 12 people in a lineup. So if they
Yeah.
call a pose, they want to look
Like
at
to
every
see every
single
single person
person
in
and
them.
go back down,
Yeah.
which means that they're going to be scanning and you might be in that pose for 20, 30, 45 seconds. If you
Yeah.
haven't practiced and practiced how to control your breathing and keep that midsection tight, and
Hmm.
as that judge is coming across you, you're breathe out and you lose that abdominal control,
It's
that's
gone.
points
Yeah,
deducted
it's
straight
a
away.
place gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's what one thing I kind of really liked about Wells, that they actually made us work on stage, because I'm not being funny. I've been to some shows in the UK where like you literally have just been rushed on stage, like, and it
Yeah.
should be like, I get it. Yeah, it's about checking the physique, but at the same time, it's about being able to make sure that the person that you're calling the bodybuilder can do the simple stuff of like posing and doing it properly, because it's a show for people to watch. I mean, so you got to make sure they're doing it. That kind of whole vibe of making you work on stage was just, I loved it. It was fun. I mean, I died. Don't get me wrong. Like everyone else did. I died on stage a lot. But it wasn't until I came on and realized, I'm so glad I put the work in, like, back home,
Yeah.
because yeah, you definitely felt that well. You definitely felt it.
It's definitely putting those rounds in after an hour of cardio, hitting the posing room, 5, 10, 15, 20 minute rounds. Like, you, for those guys online, if you don't have a posing coach, if you go online, there are what they call their posing rounds recordings. I just found one. I think it was by John
Loft House?
Lofthouse.
Yeah,
So he's got a recording. It's about 5 or 6 minutes, and it's literally just front relaxed, and then a pause, and then quarter turn, and then rear relaxed. And each one you're holding it for, I think it's about 20, 25 seconds. But literally, I'd finish my cardio, I'd go into my kitchen, and I'd literally, the first week I was doing that, it was just one round. And then the
yeah,
second week it was 2 rounds. And then it was 3 rounds until I was doing 20 minutes of continuous posing after cardio. So I was
yeah,
hot and I was
yeah.
tired. It was an hour of cardio, and then you go in and doing 20. Like, people don't realize until you've been put through rounds by a coach. Like, people don't realize how hard posing is. So you just stand there and just squeeze, and it's like, yeah, but you just trust
It's a
me.
different
Like,
story.
if then,
It's a
yeah,
different
if
story.
anybody says that again, I'm like, right, you go and see my mate Pat and let him put you through a posing workout, and then you can come back and speak to me.
Bro, I literally cried the week before we flew out to Worlds, because like I was training with my mates, like my training buddy Matt. Both called Matt. We call one big Matt. We call one red Matt, red hair Matt. So we was training. I think it was like just a normal upper day or something like that. I can't remember what we were training, but yeah. And then obviously they knew I was flying out a few days for Worlds. So it's like, okay, we're gonna put you through your paces, and I generally started crying because of how many times they drilled me. And it's just how it is. So it doesn't even matter how experienced you are, you definitely need to put the work in it. Otherwise, you're gonna
Yeah,
die on stage. You're gonna start sweating. Like even to the point, like that's the importance of starting posing early as well. Is if you've got a coach, like you'll be able to check in properly, and they'll be able to see your physique, like how they expect to see on stage. So practicing early is only gonna benefit you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
yeah.
but it's very very important. Very very important.
So some of the listeners, I'm probably assuming, have never had a posing coach.
Right.
So I'm completely brand new. I've got my prep stuff sorted out. I'm currently 16 weeks out, but I want to start getting started on my posing, so I'm not leaving it to the last minute. I don't know if 16 weeks is not to the last minute. I'm just picking a timeline. So
Let's just
what
say you're like an established. You
would be,
competed before, right? But
yeah,
16 weeks.
competed before. I know the basics,
Mhm.
but I'm not confident with it. Like, what would be the process? So I've just reached out to you, said I need to work on my posing. Like, what would be the process for that person, and what could they expect in that like first interaction? Kind of like, is it in person? Is it all online? Kind of like, just so the guys understand the process a little bit better.
Right. So the way we work at the Posing Society is pretty, like we break it down to like three different criteria. We have tier one, tier two, and tier three. And all that basically covers is tier one just covers your basics, as in your quarter turns and your mandatories, just to know the basics. Then once you pass that part of the session, you move on to tier two, which then covers transitions, how to hit the poses and flow from transition from pose to pose. So we cover all of that part. Then once we again understand how you move, how to flow better, then the next tier is tier three, is when we start working on your routine, because we feel like we spend most of our time with the foundation and making sure we get the foundation right, because the basis are what wins shows, right? if you can hit, they're gonna judge you on the poses. They're not gonna judge you on your routine. Although we all love to do the routines, I love performing my routine, and I know you love performing your routine as well. But end of the day, reality is you don't get scored on the posing, on your routine. You get scored on your quarter ten. So our main goal is always to clean out the little details and make sure you're showcasing your physique the best way possible. So yeah, so those are the three criteria they go through. They will usually come in. Let's say someone reach out to me, hey Pat, I'm looking for a posing coach, blah blah blah. First thing we have to do is okay, set up a consultation call, and then we have a chat to chat because we like to get to know the person before we start. Find out your timeline, and then kind of like break down your sessions leading up to the show to kind of get you ready. Um, Ideally, we'd like to have people like pretty much, if you're not ready with 10 weeks to go, then it's very rare that you're not ready with 10 weeks to go. Then for me, like, because I feel like if you can take that pressure off a client, then the next 7 weeks leading up to the show is just chill and easy for them. They can just like relax, go for the check-in, go through the normal posing and practicing. So like it's show day. Whereas if you leave it that late, they now have to deal with that. Oh, I'm gonna have to learn my routine. I now have to get my posing right. That's external stress you're gonna add onto yourself, which stress we all know doesn't really help bring out your best look. Um, so that's how we work really. So yeah, the aim is always get them ready by 10 weeks out, and then from then it's just a case of just like constantly going in. We do my we always try to do the first session. If I've never worked with you before, or especially you haven't done any bodybuilding before, competed before, ideally we always want the first one to try and be in person if we can. Obviously, if you live like another country and you want to work with myself, or like you live in the UK and I work with like one of my coaches from like New Zealand, then it's not really possible for you to fly you from here to New Zealand for an in-person session. So then they will take you online, obviously run it through online. But if you are local to them or like can travel to them or like can meet halfway, we always try to do at least one in person to kind of get the basis right. And then once you get the basis right, then I can be like, okay, cool. We know the basis. You know what to work on. So when you do check in with us on a weekly basis, we're able to be like critique you and be like, cool. Remember we said to you when we did our post, do this now to make it better, or like tweak this now to make it better. It just makes it a lot more easier. And then it just follows up with like constant like weekly check-ins where we do video feedbacks. They send the check-in videos, do a feedback for them, and then they kind of fix it, give them the following week, come back, fix, if there's another issue, we address that issue, and then we keep on going until they're ready to learn the routine. So yeah, that's how it pretty much works.
Sounds good. So that's all up and running, ready to go. If people are interested in having some help with their posing, head to the Posing Society on Instagram or drop you a DM and
Yeah.
you can send them all the details.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's pretty much it. So we've
Okay,
got like,
so oh, sorry, carry on.
no, I was gonna say it's just we had like so basically our aim is by the end of the week to have like a booking system online where you just click on a link, it drops down, you see everyone's schedule, where like you can find out all the information about each coach and the experience and what they've got and what they offer, and then you can just pick and select which coach you want to work with that's close to you, or if you want to work with a specific coach, yeah, click on that. You can see their schedule, and then you can book a slot that suits you. Basically, that's what we're trying to do, and it's we're just trying to make things a lot easier for people to access us and kind of get access to the best coaching they can find.
Sounds good, man. So obviously we were meant to record this on Thursday, I think it
Friday
was, and then we had
or
some
Thursday, yeah, Thursday,
technical
like you said.
issues.
Yeah,
So did you manage to save the questions from your question box?
I did. I literally screenshot all of them, just to make sure I don't forget. It's
Okay.
actually quite interesting though. Some of them are quite funny.
Okay.
Like some of them were people just being like, actually, just people just being
So
bodybuilders.
I've got two.
Okay,
Uh,
let's run with
I
yours
think I
first.
reckon, did you see that Perform had put out a chicken tikka masala whey? Because
Yeah,
I got the question of, are you going to try the Perform tikka masala whey? And I know you
right.
love a bit of Perform, so
I have to say I am not going to be trying that. I'm sorry. Like
okay.
it just
Do you
doesn't sit
know?
right with me.
Yeah, I'm very much used to my protein shakes being sweet, not
Yeah,
savory. Like it
yeah.
just. But do you know
That's
who did order it? Is it Dan that came to came to Worlds. He's
Dan
what's his
Watson.
name's coach? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Dan Watson put it on his story. He's ordered some. So I was like, you'll have to
No
let me
way.
know how it tastes because that does not sound appealing to me
Yeah,
like at all.
I saw someone
Um,
shaking the protein, yeah, and then they poured someone did the video, and they poured it on top of their chicken. I was just like, what? I was like, did you actually just do that? It just seems so wrong. I don't want to fall
yeah,
in and say that it's gonna taste horrible, but it probably does taste nice. But I just can't. It just doesn't
just have it
sound right.
warm. It's like cream of rice.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Just
Oh man,
a savory flavored cream of rice, and you've got that on the top, and
nah,
it's
that's
just
just not.
chicken flavored mush.
That's yeah, that's just not the one, man. It's not on. Who did they do one last year as well? Like where it's like a chicken,
Yeah, like a limited
like chicken or
edition
something
one.
that something crazy like
Yeah,
that. And I was thinking, at first when I saw it, I thought like an April Fool's show. It's not going to be real,
yeah.
but it was actually real. I was like, what the hell?
That's Perform do that sort of stuff though, don't they? Like
Yeah,
they really understand social media and like viral marketing. Like
yeah,
something like that that's a little bit out there. We've got us talking about it on a podcast. Like
yeah,
it clearly works in marketing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
people talk about it, go and look at it, and then when they're on the website, oh, I see some sticky toffee pudding. That sounds much nicer than chicken tikka masala. I'll get that one.
And then they will grab it basically. Oh god, but
Yeah.
yeah, I will not.
So yeah,
So
it's a
person, I will not be trying that at all. It just doesn't
no,
sound right to me.
no. I'm sticking with my sweet ones. Like I like my sweet milkshakey protein shakes. I'm a
Yeah,
basic bitch, and I do
yeah.
not try exotic flavors. I struggled. You know what? I was so reluctant to try chocolate.
Chocolate.
Um,
Yeah,
the Dubai chocolate perform. Probably one of the nicest ways I've ever tried.
yeah,
I got a free sample from winning the Supernatural show. So
yeah,
I bought a load of Perform stuff outside beforehand, and then we won, and we got a load of free samples as well.
yeah,
So I was like, okay, this is gonna last me a while.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
really, really
actually
nice. I'm on that one at the moment.
yeah. There was that one, and then there was another one. Like but you know that Turkish sweet. What's the
Turkish delight.
No, it wasn't Turkish delight. It was like it came to out the same time as like the Dubai chocolate, but I can't remember the name now. But yeah, I did try both of them, and especially on prep, it was just like yeah, very. I loved
It's
it.
heaven.
I
Yeah,
loved
it's
it. Yeah. So
the only
yeah,
sweet thing you get for the day is when you get to
yeah,
mix your
exactly,
way into something like,
exactly.
or a little bit of fruit, a couple of like
Yeah,
30 grams of berries, and
and then
you
with
look at
that
the
on it, and
macros
then
in it. It's like, why have I only got 30 grams? It's like 5 grams of carbs. Could I not just have a little bit more? No.
oh, I remember like one prep, one of I think it was like my it was the 2023 season, and I think for my first show, I think at one point my meal one, I used to have granola, and I remember my coach dropping my granola to like 20 grams because there's like I think it was doing peak week or something like that, or like when we were trying to like do low carb and drop down to like 20 grams of granola. I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And I went to weigh out, it was literally like a spoonful, and I was like. I just
Yeah.
messaged him like, you know what? I don't even want this. Just take it away because this is an insult. Like, what am I doing with a teaspoon of granola? It was so pointless.
Yeah.
So
I
pointless.
remember I was on a low day and Nat had made tea
Mhm.
and so I could have the mince, but she'd made
Yeah,
spaghetti bolognese. So I was like, I'll have the mince, but no, it was actually a high day. So I had like 75 to 100 grams of carbs to use. And but I think I had like 30 grams for that meal. And I was
yeah.
like, she was like, are you not gonna have the pasta? I was like, do you want to see how much pasta I can have? And I weighed it out and it was like 4 strands. And I was like, I'd rather have half this bag of rice for
Yeah.
25 grams of carbs than 4 strands of pasta. Please
Oh,
never
mate.
offer me pasta again when I am in prep because it makes me sad.
It's just depressing, isn't it? It's actually so depressing when you get to that stage, man.
And you
Oh, mate.
don't realize like how some food, so pasta's seen as like a healthy food, isn't it? But it's
Yeah,
so carb dense.
yeah,
Like if you're trying to lose weight and you're eating a shed load of pasta, you're fighting an uphill battle because you can
yeah.
easily
Literally.
consume 5, 6, 700 calories in a meal, um, just because of how dense it is. Okay, so second question. Don't mind me asking, how much do you approximately get paid of doing bodybuilding? Um, Directly from bodybuilding, not a lot. From natural bodybuilding, even less.
Less.
Mm, yeah. So in terms of making a career out of bodybuilding, what you it's not the sport itself that pays you. Yes, there's like prize money. I think at Worlds there was like $5,000 for the person who won the overall like pro men's division. Um,
Yeah.
I think in like the UAE shows, I think they've got prize money for their pro shows and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I think
if
they
you
get
think
the
about
highest
what
paid
you
one
end
in
up,
it.
yeah, so if you think about what you spend bodybuilding, like your coaching, supplements, food, travel, you've probably spent more than you will ever win in prize money, like
Yeah,
doing the
100%.
sport. So if you're doing bodybuilding to make a career out of it, like the you're probably not going to make much money from the sport because you've got to do bodybuilding because you love it, and then the opportunities that come with it. So you've got things like coaching, you've got sponsorships, so like supplements, apparel. Essentially, you need to become a benefit to a company to become an ambassador for that company. And nine
Yeah,
times out of 10, having a great physique does help you be more marketable
yeah,
for products and things that are within that space. And it's not guaranteed. Like, I know so many very, very good bodybuilders that don't have a good social media presence. So they don't have the opportunities to be able to work with companies and stuff because ultimately you and your brand, your personal brand, have to be of a benefit to
to
that
them,
brand
yeah,
to help them
100%,
sell more. Like,
100%.
oh, sorry, I think my dog's just
And
like
that's
right,
like
right
that's
next
so
to
real.
me.
I think
It's
that's
awful.
one thing that a lot of people seem to think like, oh yeah, you did you become a bodybuilder, or you turn pro, or you become like something like that. All of a sudden your life is gonna change, and you're gonna have like all this million sponsorship. No, it doesn't work like that. Like you literally make zero money from bodybuilding. You do it because you love it, and if you get anything that comes along with it, it's like a bonus. But your presence on social media, your personality, that is what is really gonna sell you as an individual for the brands anyway. So yeah, zero money sadly. We wish we was making a lot of money,
Yeah.
but we're not. Yeah,
So yeah, if you're thinking about getting into it, do it for the love of training. Like, I don't know about you, Pat, but like I got into this sport because I love training. I love being in the gym. And it was an avenue for me to be able to do that more.
yeah,
Because I used to play rugby, couldn't play rugby anymore, and I needed a new outlet. So that's why I chose to stand around the stage in a tiny pair of pants
yeah.
because it sounded like fun.
Well, I'm glad you said that because we've got a question that kind of like
Oh,
heads towards
okay,
that.
okay,
Oh
that's
yeah.
coming up next.
So I think I'm gonna start with that question, and I think we all know what everyone's gonna say. The first question they got is like, "Is bodybuilding gay?" And I think that's literally that comes up like every single time, like you ask someone a question, and the answer is answer. I mean, I'll let you answer first. Is bodybuilding gay?
It's a little bit gay. It's a
Just
little
a
bit
little
gay.
bit.
It's a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
It's a little bit gay.
It's not as
It's
bad as JJB though.
essentially
Is it called JJB?
no BJJ,
BJJ, that's the
BJJ,
one. Yeah.
JJB. That was the sports shop from like the early noughties, mate.
Yeah, it's definitely not as gay as that, but
Yeah,
like, it's definitely
yeah,
gay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You can't really argue with it. You're literally standing on stage in a tiny pair of pants, going, "Look how big I am." And look at me.
With a tan on and your hair all
Yeah,
done.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
um,
It's a beauty pageant.
it's a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beauty pageant. Because if you think about it, what other sport? I suppose you got like gymnastics and like ice skating and stuff like that, which are probably equally as gay. I'm not sure if I can say that actually. Can I?
Oh, we're getting cancelled, bro.
That's that I was gonna say that's just getting cancelled.
Oh,
But yeah, it's a subjective sport, so um, there's no yes, there's criteria, but it's somebody's opinion and interpretation of that criteria that determines kind of like where you finish. It's not like football where ball goes in net, that is a point, where there's a definitive did that or did that not happen. It's very much about, right, here's a set of criteria that's been decided by a group of people that run a federation, and that criteria can change. Like,
Hmm.
just because you did well one year, the criteria might change, and you may not then fare well under that new criteria in the next year. So, yeah, it's a little bit
And
gay.
you could have the same look, the same number of people, exact same um, athletes going against each other, compare one weekend in front of different group of judges, go compare different weekend with another group of judges, and the results could just vary so much. So yeah, it can't. It's not really like one of those things where you can be like, oh, it's a sport because it's a sec scoring system. There isn't. It's just option there.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah.
I think you have to be very secure in your sexuality to be able to be a bodybuilder and be able to
Yeah.
get up on that stage and just not give a shit. Like, I don't
And
care if it seems a bit gay to you. I enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing
yeah.
it. Like,
And also just be
yeah.
very prepared that you're gonna get a lot of random weird ass DMs like
Yes,
from
yeah,
creepy ass people.
yeah.
So
I was
that's
going to say, have you seen those the is it the memes where it's like, oh, you go to the gym all the time, you're gonna get all the girls in your DMs, and
yeah,
then it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
gay, gay dudes, and it's like dying in your arms
So
tonight. It's
now-
like, yes, that's
yeah,
exactly
that's
what
literally
happens,
it. That's literally it. Oh mate.
and
Right.
they
So
don't. Yeah.
yeah. So with that
Sorry, next
said,
one.
let's
Yeah,
move
next
on
one.
to the next question. It goes. What did it go to? Oh, it goes. What's the go-to post-show meal for you?
Oh, um, I like pizza.
That's a good
But
choice.
it depends on if I am on like the last show of the season
Yeah.
or if I'm like if I've got another show in like a week's time.
Yeah.
It will
Nah.
literally be so at the local takeaway they do chicken shish kebabs. So
Yeah.
it will literally be a chicken shish kebab. So the pitta and like a handful of chips is my cheat
Yeah.
because it's just chicken breast and salad. It's like
Yeah.
it's not even
Yeah.
really a cheat, but it is because it's from a takeaway. The kids can
But
go and
yeah.
get what they want. It's a
Yeah.
few more carbs than I'd normally have, and it's enough to satisfy that itch
Hmm.
without me. If I go Domino's and get a 14-inch thing with
Pizza.
two sides and a pint of ice cream, it's going to take me 3 weeks to get that carbs back out of my system. So I can't do that if I'm competing again the next weekend or like 2 weeks' time. Whereas if it's like the final show of the season, I want to put
Yeah.
some body fat on anyway. It's very
Yeah.
much and Papa John's is like the goat. Like
The
that.
goat.
That is
Yeah.
my favorite
Yeah. That's
pizza.
it. Papa John's over Domino's any day. Any
Oh
day.
yeah. Our Papa John's temporarily shut down for like 4 months. I was devastated. I'd literally just come out of prep. I'd been craving it for 9 months, and we're like, right, we're gonna order a pizza tonight. Well, Papa John's is not open. Oh,
Oh,
what?
that is so
And then yeah,
peak.
it literally 2 weeks ago it reopened. I was like, guys,
Yeah. You
I've
can't
been
straight up.
wanting this since November.
Remember?
You're getting this tonight.
Oh, that's wild. That's mad, man. I think I think for me it would have to be like I'm like you. If it's like if I've got like a show, it depends what time the season is. But usually I'll finish the show and my go-to meal will be just like oats with protein and then a protein bar. Like, as long as I've got like a protein bar with me, I'm happy. Like I'll have a protein bar and go and smash legs straight away after the show. Like that's always part of tradition that I'll always follow. But if it's the end of the season, then I'll go out for like the pizza or like a takeaway. But if I have to pick one, I'll probably say yeah, pizza over like Five Guys. I know a lot of people go to Five Guys and stuff like that, but I don't know why I just think it's like ridiculously priced and stupid expensive for veteran.
Yeah, for what it is, it's a burger.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah. Did you see Nutrition by Henry's like food tour after Worlds in LA?
Oh mate,
That were
I was so Henry, if you're listening, you made me hate my life because I watched that and I thought, why didn't I do that? I was so upset
yeah.
I didn't do that. It looks so
Well,
good.
it's just I remember him posting a thing and being like, I don't fuck around with this weight weight coming back on. And he posted like his photos next to each other, and all the fat had just gone to his ass. And he's like, dude, what the fuck is this? He's got like a BBL going on because literally all the fat had gone straight to his ass. And I was like, yeah, yeah, that's what happens.
That is too funny, man. Bro is literally going to wellness, man. Fully going to wellness.
Yeah. Well, then again, because I knew about Henry. Obviously, you guys were chatting at Worlds. I then followed him. So I've been watching like quite a bit of his content, and like
Yeah,
he trains like an absolute animal. It's like
yeah,
this
he goes
guy's
hard.
insane. Like there's no reps in reserve left there. Like
Nope,
he's every
nope,
single
literally
session
every
is
time.
taken to 100 every single time, and it's like I don't know how you mentally can cope with that. I can't. I take one or two like sets to failure across like three or four exercises, and I'll normally train to like one or two reps in reserve because I've done like DC training where you take everything to failure and it just trashed me. Like I just
Yeah,
can't recover from it. So
yeah.
um, but yeah, I don't. You guys that go to like failure on every single set, you're a different breed, man. Like I don't know how you do it. You must take yourself to a very dark place every single time you're in the gym.
Dude, mate, do you actually know, let me tell you actually this story of how me and him actually met because I think it's quite hilarious. So obviously I knew I've seen him online before going to Singapore. Not Singapore, so going to New Zealand for the pro qualifier for the IBB one. Um, and I was there in Singapore. He must have come down. I thought he was competing because obviously I saw in the story he's going to New Zealand, blah blah. He had just done his was it what's that big show in
To the
a
OCB,
ICN? I think ICN.
ICN,
Yeah, he had
ICN's
just
big in
he had
Indonesia.
just done that and like got his pro card with them and done a pro show with them, I believe. So he must have just come to that show to either watch or just have maybe had clients there. But I knew he was going to that show. So all the time I'm going, I was like, oh my gosh, I get to compete with Henry. Like obviously I've been following him. This like he's like a big name in Australia. So I get to compete against him and all it's gonna be so exciting. And I got there and I was like in there, I went to the bathroom to kind of touch do my tan before top of my tan before going down backstage. And he was in the bathroom. And I was like, hey, you are Henry, introduced my Henry, right? He goes, yeah, how you doing? Blah, blah. So we got talking. Obviously, he had no idea who I was at the time. I think he said he knew of me, but he didn't know me, basically.
Yeah.
So I got talking, I was like, oh, yeah, and he goes, oh, is this your first time competing? I was like, um, no, more like my 50th time competing. So he didn't realize I've been competing for so long. He goes, oh yeah, all the best. And I was like, no, it's not my first show, but yeah, it's my first time obviously down decided what to compete. So and then I was like, so oh, cool, it's like great to meet you, blah blah. And then he then followed me back on Instagram. So by the time I got backstage, I saw him follow me back. And then he DM'd me showing oh my fucking God, I didn't realize it was you. Like, I've been watching your stuff and like literally been practicing because I know I'm gonna be against your worlds and all of this stuff. I was like, no fucking way. Like, I've been watching him to kind of watch my back and he's been doing the same thing, but I didn't realize who I was until the time. It was just the funniest conversation and then since then we just kind of just been chatting every day pretty much. But yeah, it was a cool story, I thought. I'll
Yeah.
share with everyone there
I
how we
think
met.
it's well, it shows just like you guys initially followed each other because you were
Yeah,
competition,
yeah.
and now you're friends.
And now, yeah,
Like
literally friends, yeah. It's mad.
me and you met each other backstage at a show,
Yeah,
competed against each other, and
yeah,
then 2 years later now we're good friends and we host a podcast together. Like
exactly.
I've probably made more friends in this sport over the last 5 years than I did for the 5 years kind of like before that. Like to be honest, I can count on one hand how many relationships, like friendships that I've got
Yeah.
after I've left university.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
once I left uni, like most men, they don't make new friends very
Yeah,
often.
nah, that's it. Yeah,
But
that's
this
it.
sport, I think because it's such a lonely sport, because 9 times out of 10 you're in the gym, you're on your own, you're cooking your meals, like it's your family, like there's not a big social element. But I think that's one of the good things that I think social media has done for bodybuilding and the fitness industry is we get to link with other like-minded individuals because we like put out content, and because we all do the same crazy shit, we all kind of think in a very similar way. So it's very easy to kind of like build those connections. And to be honest, like the best connections I've developed in this sport have been people I've competed against.
Yeah, I think it's also because like we kind of understand how psychotic we are with our training, and like we
Yeah.
are kind of fascinated by how everyone trains. So we kind of just bond over our craziness and our obsession with like trying to be better every time, which is pretty cool. Just hold on, I think my battery's
Yeah.
dying, so I'm gonna make sure it's just plugged in properly.
Okay, that's not a problem. I'm just trying to see if I have any other questions.
Yeah, it's plugged in now, so we should be good. We should be
No
good, I think.
worries.
Right. Why is this not charging? Oh, yeah, we're good. All right, yeah. So back to the questions. Oh, it's already 8 o'clock already. Jeez, we've got a lot to go through, bro.
Oh no. Okay. We'll start speeding up. We'll speed it up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then we've got what's something about competing that people don't talk about enough? I think that's quite a good question, actually.
Something about competing that people don't talk about enough.
Talking. Yeah.
Um, I would say that they don't talk about how much it can affect your personal relationships. Prep can affect your personal relationships if you let it to, and that it is a choice.
Yeah.
So I know, because I've done one, two, three, four preps now. Each time that I've prepped, my wife has got better at communicating with me when I am being an asshole. Because you will. You
Yeah.
are in a constant state of essentially fight or flight 24 hours a day for weeks or months on end. So physiologically, you are in a constant state of stress, which means that if you are not conscious about the fact that you probably are going to be a little bit snappy, you're going to be quick to react, and you probably need to have a conversation with that little voice in your head that is telling you that what this person is saying is an attack, because it's probably not. You're just taking it the wrong way. Pretty much 99 times out of 100, if somebody's done something to piss you off, it's you that's the problem, not them. Because
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
state that you're in,
that is
you
so
are
real.
probably reading things the wrong way. And
Yeah.
it is a choice. You can choose to not be an asshole, and you can choose to take ownership of it. You are going to lose your rag. You are going to be ratty. But don't be defensive about it. Own it. Apologize. I'm sorry. That's not how I meant it to come across. I'm going to work on that, and then work on those. There's, if you read like Stoic philosophy or something like that, there's lots and lots of ways. So the basic idea behind it is there's only ever two things that happen to you: what happens to you and what you feel about what happens to you. And you can actually control how you feel about that situation. That is within your control. What happens to you is not within your control. Your reaction to it
Yeah.
is. Even if physiologically you
Yeah.
aren't in the greatest place to deal with that, it's a skill, and also the people around you haven't chosen to be on this path. You chose it. Like, you don't want to sacrifice all your personal relationships for prep. It's not worth it. Like, unless you're literally going to be a Ronnie Coleman that's 8 times Mr. Olympia, it's probably not going to be worth it. Right, we've lost Pat. Right, guys. So apologies about that. We had some technical issues. First, my internet went down, then Pat's internet went down, and it was absolute chaos. So we
It
just
was
wanted to
not good.
sign off. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the episode. We're sorry we didn't get to all your questions. However, the next episode, which comes out next week, we'll make sure we cover all the remaining questions, because I don't think me or Pat has put out another question box, because we've
No.
got enough to kind of go over there. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, so we'll catch you guys on the next one, hopefully.
catch you on the next one, guys. Remember,
Yes.
like, subscribe, Tell your friends if they like natural bodybuilding. The number one podcast for natural bodybuilders. It's the
Yeah,
I
and
can't remember the
ask your
Natural
mum,
Selection
get your mum to
podcast.
watch as well,
Get your
because
mum.
your
Yeah.
mum is going to support you doing natural bodybuilding. So get your mum to watch as well.
Right, guys.
All
See
right.
you soon.
Okay. Adios.